All right. Hi, class. My name is Hannah Burns, and I will be presenting my infographic for ethics. So, I am a mechanical engineer. I'm in mechanical engineering, but I decided to go down a little bit of a different path for this assignment and do something that applies to another part of what I'm studying, which is I'm an ROTC, Navy ROTC, so I'm studying to be an officer. So, I wanted to discuss why ethics among officers is really important and the impacts that can be created by unethical actions of officers in the military. Um, so to begin, I chose this style of infographic because I kind of wanted to show the process and the importance of ethics training in an officer's career and the amount of training and education that goes into becoming an officer. So why unethical behavior is really, really bad for officers and really should be trained out of them. Um, so to start off, officers, I'll pretty much summarize most of this. Officers pretty much make up about 18% of the armed forces in the United States, and the role of officer is really to lead and to accomplish the goals and missions of the nation at smaller levels and at larger levels. So it's really leading in all general descriptions. Um, and there's a lot that goes into leadership, and there's a lot of leadership training that they go through. And part of this leadership training is ethics training. But as an officer, you have to go through pretty much 4 years of education, 2 to 4 years. 4 years is usually the requirement. And this can be through various different programs, the academies, ROTC, which you can see here, Embry-Riddle. But they basically need a bachelor's degree by the completion of their time in the program, and that's the only way they'll be allowed to commission. So if it takes 2 years, it takes 4 years. Really, the requirement is that they need to have a bachelor's degree. So that may not seem important, but it is really important because that means that they're going through all this education, and usually when you go to school, you're getting educated in the place you want to be in the future. So a lot of education is not just a degree, but also like leadership training and ethics training, which you can see here. Basically, all military officers need some baseline of ethics training. The Air Force motto is, "We will not cheat, lie, steal, or cheat, or tolerate among us anyone who does." And that's really sums up basically the baseline of ethics. That shouldn't even be just for officers, but it should be in the military in general and in everyday lives in general. So I wanted to give an example of how the failure of ethics among officers can lead to pretty bad consequences. So there was this scandal called Fat Leonard scandal a couple years ago, which was an undue relationship between military officers and basically a contractor for the U.S. military. U.S. Navy captain was receiving gifts and financial rewards, and in return, the captain would park his ships at ports where the U.S. would be overbilled, basically. And once this came up that this captain was doing this, it basically cost millions of dollars and also jeopardized classified information and, more importantly, lives, like the lives of all the sailors on the ship. Why is this important? It may not seem like the worst ethical failure, but just picture if there had been, like I said, classified information. An enemy could have found this out that they were going to this port that they weren't supposed to be going to, and could have attacked and maybe killed everyone on that ship. You don't know. So really, every action an officer takes will be an impact to have a larger impact later on, and maybe small or really big ways. You just don't know. That's why you should be trained not to do that. So moving forward, why is this important? And why is this would be a good topic to analyze? Well, like I said, there could be it may not seem very statistical, like there might not be many statistics right now on it, but it's really is really important for us to learn. Me personally, as a person trying to become an officer, and as officers already in the military, and people just trying to know about it, it's really important because to know that people's actions can have really big consequences in the future, and it's also interesting to learn why they made these unethical decisions, even though they knew what the consequences would probably be. Um, so I really chose this because I'm interested in it, and I think it doesn't have a lot to do with numbers. It's more about the person and the people, and I think that would be a really good topic to research and kind of dig more into to see the reasons behind and the consequences that could have come up of other unethical behavior.